Good day, and today we're going to be discussing how to go about planning out your homeschool year. What will that look like? How long will it be? What are you going to do? All those questions we'll be covering in this video. So today we're going to talk about 5 different things. First of all, you got to know your goals, right? What do you want to achieve in this year? Once you kind of figured out what your goals are, you want to look at all the different ways that you can schedule things, right? What are the types of schedules that are out there? We'll be talking about that. What are things that can help drive that schedule? Things like summer camps and community programs and activities like that. How would that factor into your homeschool plan? You really need to talk about the strategies that you're going to use for choosing the curriculum and how that will play into all these different things and how you're going to track progress. And then, of course, how's it going to play out in the real world? You want an example of that. So we'll do all of that in this video. So when you set goals, in the homeschool aspect, you're going to be looking at what the states are requiring, right? What do you have to do based on the age of your child? So that's going to be first and foremost. Once you see that, oh, by the end of this year, my student needs to be able to do this, this, and this, and know this, this, and this, that begins to set the goals. Now you want to formalize those a little bit more. You want to get them into SMART goals, right? So that's specific and measurable and achievable and realistic and then timed, right? So by this date, they're going to know this. All of those are pretty much going to be probably written as SMART goals by the state, but you want to put those down kind of in your own wording, your own language, and yes, get them written down, get them posted. And those, of course, will end up being broken down into things like 90-day goals and so that you can keep yourself accountable and on path, knowing that, yep, we've met this, we're a little bit behind on this, let's make that up there. And when you kind of know those goals, that's going to begin to drive some of the other factors. All right, so now you've got the goals down, you've got your year-end goals, you've got your 6-month goals, your 90-day goals. You kind of know what it is you want to accomplish and achieve, so you begin planning out that schedule and the lessons. And this is where that flexibility of scheduling comes in, right? So what I mean by that is you could plan out your school year. It doesn't have to go from September to June, right? You don't have to go September to June and have vacations when all the other people have vacations. You could take vacations when it's convenient for you. You could go into the summertime and actually incorporate some of the summer type programs into your homeschool curriculum. This is looking at your goals, knowing what you need to achieve, seeing what's being offered and other things. Like summer camps are a wonderful experience, right? So use of summer camps, the use of sports and travel teams and these sort of things, dance programs can help guide what you're going to do when, right? It might be possible that some program out there offers a winter experience for a middle school student where they can go out into the wilderness in the middle of winter time and really learn some survival skills and all this other stuff. There are programs out there like that. You might go, oh, all right, that'd be great. Let's do that with my child. They would really benefit from that. You don't need to worry about whether that is done during their school break or not because you're homeschooling, right? That's that flexibility of scheduling. And it's also that idea of how you go like year round or not, because summer camps, again, are really valuable. Athletic teams and travel teams and all those experiences, you can begin to figure out how you can incorporate things with that. Let me give you a quick example from my own life. And we weren't homeschooling, but this will give you an idea of how you could play things out. So 2 of my sons, actually, they both travel baseball. So there's every spring, actually very beginning of the summer, very end of spring, very end of their high school season, there was a tournament for a travel team down in New Jersey. So we'd go down. Well, it's not far from Trenton, where George Washington crossed the Delaware River. A lot of history down there. So while we were down there for baseball, guess what else we did? We went to those places, right? We weren't far from Philadelphia. So we took a day, drove down into Philadelphia and saw all the things with Philadelphia. You know, all of those things you can begin to incorporate into other things like summer camps and travel sports and all these things that can function and work right into your homeschooling. That's the flexibility of scheduling. That's the use of all those community programs. So as you plan out your year, right, your curriculum can also help shape that. So knowing, so we got to teach math, we got to teach science, we got to do the writing, we got to do the history, we got to do all those different things, right? There's a certain amount of independence and structured things that are really good for your child to learn. But you can also then begin to incorporate, as we just mentioned this last thing, trips and field trips. And you can do that much more freely in homeschool than you can necessarily at school. Resources to take and get so that you can take those experiences and then document, keep track of what you are actually learning, how that is fitting the goals. That is all part of the research that you need to do, right? To be able to figure out what curricula is best. So there are lots of different textbook type curricula that, all right, that's probably going to give you the knowledge and things like that that you need for certain topics and subjects, and you utilize those. And then what other resources from these other activities and things are available for you to add to the curricula, for you to supplement those things. All of that takes stepping back, taking a look at those goals, right? Looking at where you're going, and then kind of blending the kit type curricula that you've purchased or that you're going to create in order to meet those objectives, those goals that you have, using all those different situations that you've designed and thought about and planned out. So let me kind of take from my own personal experience. Again, I worked in some school departments, and the classes that I had, the groups of kids I had, were kids who struggled for a lot of reasons. And it was really, we ran it really very much like a homeschool. It was myself and another teaching partner, sometimes even another one, depending on which district I was in. And we would do like thematic units. And yeah, we had some of the traditional things. We had a really good writing program going, really good math program, had these things. But we kind of began to think of this whole unit thematically. And sometimes I had everything, math, science, I taught it all. Other times I only was responsible for certain subjects. But what we did was we began to say, all right, listen, let's go. Load up the kids in our 2 cars, and we did little field trips, right? Used my uncle, who was the caretaker of a little rural museum in rural Maine that had some really cool old artifacts and stuff. We'd go up to my cousin's farm, which was built in the 1700s, that was still not winterized to this day. And we would do things like that. And we would kind of show all the things that people, what we were just talking about and reading about and writing about around that era, we take them there, we show them. That was like a homeschool kind of structure that you can do. It's a wonderful experience for kids, and it's really available for homeschoolers, probably even more, unless you ran a program like I did, more than other school programs. I really hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. There's lots of videos out there. Again, I'm adding more all the time. I get questions asked, finding what people are asking out there online. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to answer those questions that people have. Of course, I'm big on mindset, but also, as you can tell by this whole series of stuff on education and athletics. So all of those things get incorporated. So you can also, maybe like this, comment on it. That will always be helpful. One particular video that you might be interested in, particularly if you're a single mom or dad out there, is how do I homeschool my child if I am a single parent? So you can check that out today, and I'll see you in the next video.